Good morning, everyone, and welcome to this morning's pre-service meditation here at Centers for Spiritual Living, Greater Baltimore. I am Eugene Holden. I am one of the practitioners of distinction, honoring and honored to serve this community. So I invite you to take a nice, deep breath. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. We're going to do that 2 more times. Inhale. Exhale. And 1 more time. Inhale. Hold it. And exhale. And now breathing exclusively through your nose. And if you like, you can soften your gaze. And bring your awareness to your breath. Making sure to inhale fully. And exhale completely through the nose. Breathing exclusively through the nose. We keep the breath soft, slow, smooth, silent, and sacred. Allowing the body to take its signal from the deep breathing, and that signal to the body is to relax. So with every exhale, allow the body to let go. And we breathe. Bringing our awareness to the top of the head. Imagine the relaxation being like water flowing down the mountain. So where it flows from the top of your head down to the face, where the jaw is now relaxed, Relax the eyes even more. That relaxation flows down the neck and the throat, into the shoulders, allowing the shoulders to go loose and limp. Just let the shoulders go. There's nothing to carry this moment. We're not carrying the world at all. Let the shoulders go. And now allow that relaxation to flow down the arms, where the upper arms are now relaxed. It's flowing through the elbows, where the forearms are relaxed. Feel the relaxation as it flows down the backs of the hands, down the fingers to the tips of the fingers. And now relax the palms of the hands. And we breathe. As we keep our breath steady, deep, and slow, we bring our attention back to the shoulders. Allow the shoulders to let go. And now feel how that relaxation flows down the spine, where the upper back is relaxed, the middle back is relaxed. And now allow the lower back to release. Let it go. With this inhale, bring your attention back to your shoulders. If there's any tension still left in the shoulders, let it go. Let it go. And now feel the relaxation as it flows down the front of the body, where the chest is relaxed. Feel the solar plexus relax. And now relax the abdomen. Feel the relaxation flow through the hips, through the groin, down the thighs, and through the knees, where the shins are now relaxed, the calf muscles are relaxed. Let it all go. Feel how the relaxation is flowing down the insteps or the tops of the feet, all the way to the tips of the toes. And now relax the soles of the feet. And we breathe. And now with your mind's eye, scan the body temple and become aware of any tension within the body temple, if there is any at all. And if there is, bring your awareness to where that tension is and then breathe it away. Just let it go. Just let it go. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. Once again, we bring our awareness to the breath as it enters the nostrils and how it exits the nostrils. And we are in now the state of receptivity. We are open, we are receptive, and we are available. As we allow the breath to guide us into the throne room of the heart. Into the Holy of Holies. Into the inner sanctum of the Most High, which is your true self. And we breathe. And as we see ourselves in the throne room of the heart, using that beautiful gift of imagination, we can see, we can feel, we can sense that there is this presence in the midst of us, in front of us, all around us. And in this vibration of being open, receptive, and available, we are here to listen. And the question that we ask our higher selves is, what is my work? Why am I here today? And so we open up and we sit in that question, opening up to feel and to sense the answer from within. What is my work? And in this quietude, we listen. Peace, be still, and know. Peace, be still, peace. If you want to ask the question in another way, that question is, instead of what is my work, it is the same as asking, what is my purpose for being here today? And we breathe. And as we are becoming more clear on what our work is, what our purpose is, we become willing to become what is necessary for that work to be accomplished through us, for that purpose to be fulfilled through us. We become willing to be the instrument of the work. So, what must we become? And we listen. And now is the time for us to generate from within ourselves this feeling of gratitude. Being grateful to catch maybe even a glimpse of what the work is. Maybe just a smidgen of what the purpose is. Just so grateful. And then also grateful for the willingness to become whatever it takes for the work, for the purpose to be done through us. And so we allow ourselves to come back into our respective rooms, wherever you may be, continuing to breathe fully and completely, and continuing to keep this vibration of peace, which still time generates. And so, when you are ready, and only when you are ready, you can bring your gaze back to fullness. When you are ready, you may open your eyes if they were closed. And we become aware once again of the room around us. We become aware of the vibration around us, the sounds, the feeling around us. And more importantly, we become aware that we are the place, we are the face, we are the instruments of divinity. So this concludes this morning's pre-service meditation. Enjoy this service. It promises to be a great one. I am grateful that you joined me in this time. Peace and abundant blessings. Thank you, Dresden. Imagine there's no heaven. It's easy if you try. No hell,
above us only sky. Imagine all the people living for today. Imagine there's no countries. It isn't hard to do. Nothing to kill or die for. No religion too. Imagine all the people living life in peace. Oh, you may say that I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you'll join us, and the world will live as one. Oh, will live as one. Imagine no possessions. I wonder if you can. No need for greed or hunger. Brotherhood of man. Imagine all the people sharing all the world. Oh, you may say that I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you'll join us, and the world will live as one. We'll live as one. Imagine it. 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 Imagine.
Good morning. Welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living Greater Baltimore's virtual service. I am your host, Tracy Rhymes. Our speaker is our spiritual director, Reverend Dr. Raymont Anderson. Our musician is Dennis Coppens. Serving as today's practitioner who led the pre-service meditation is Eugene D. Holden. Assisting with making this service open, inviting, and accessible to the deaf community are our sign language interpreters, Ashlee Goldman and Dresden Lamar. On behalf of Reverend Dr. Ray, thank you for your service. At CSLGB, every Sunday is an invite a friend or family member Sunday. Make sure you spread the love and invite someone to service. We would love to have them hang out with us. Eugene Holden has been a student of the science of mind and spirit for over 30 years and has been a licensed religious science practitioner for 15 years. For 10 years, he served the World Ministry of Prayer at CSL Home Office. Eugene also served as Home Office liaison to the Diversity Commission, serving as trainer and facilitator. He has been a well-loved contributor to the Science of Mind magazine for over 13 years, inspiring lives around the world. Eugene allows vision to guide him. It is prayer that fuels him. He is deeply committed to his purpose of joyfully assisting others in remembering who and what they truly are: divine beings of light. Eugene believes that together we can reveal the kingdom of heaven right here on earth. What is heaven? Heaven is ever expanding good.
Thank you, Tracy. I want to take a quick moment to say happy birthday, Tracy. And I ask that you join me in this prayer as we take a breath. If I know nothing else, I know this. I know that there is an infinite intelligence from which all things are created. I know that it is at the very center of all of life and having no circumference whatsoever. There isn't anything that exists outside of the infinite presence of God, for God is all that there is. The creator of the Alpha, the creator of the Omega, that which is all in between, all that there is God. The infinite intelligence that governs the universe through divine law and unconditional love. You see, I know that there is no space where God is not, because it is the nature of the infinite to permeate, to penetrate, and to fill the interspaces of the universe, meaning that there is no space where God is not. God is that which is within all space, within and between the space, within the space. And so recognizing and acknowledging that God is everywhere, present at all times, I know that at all times God is present right where I am. In fact, it's an impossibility for me to go anywhere where God is not, because I am created in that spiritual image after the spiritual likeness and nature of the divine itself. And as I know this to be the truth of my life, this is the truth of each individualized expression of the one tuning in here today. It is the truth of each and every individualized expression of the one who may not even tune in. It doesn't matter, because wherever we are, God is. Right here, right now, God is, we are. And so it is in my awareness of our oneness in God, my awareness of our united state of consciousness, that I speak this word for today. See, I know, I declare, I claim, I decree, and I accept that this day is magnificent, because as scripture says, this is the day that the Lord has made. And so what do? We rejoice in it. We are glad to be in the awareness that God is great, life is good, all is well, and we are grateful for this. And so I give great thanks for all of the many hands that have anything to do with bringing this service into fruition, this work, this purpose into manifestation. I give great thanks for both of the beautifully talented sign interpreters. I give great thanks for Tracy Rhymes, who is always the hostess of the mostest. And I give great thanks for our spiritual leader, the Reverend Dr. Raymont Anderson, who continues to open up and to surrender, to allowing himself to be used as the instrument, the vehicle, and the voice of the divine. I am grateful for all who have tuned in. See, I know that together we are lifting the vibration of the planet. And I know this, that as we are lifted up, we bring everyone else with us who are in tune with the vibration that we walk in and walk from. So for this, and for so much more than these words can ever convey, I remain forever grateful and thankful. And so it is from this space of gratitude that I release my word into the awesome and dynamic activity of love and law. You see, I know that as I release my word into the law cannot help itself. It has no other recourse. It has no other choice. It must take these words and mold them and shape them and design them and create them and then send them back to us, not void or empty, but absolutely, divinely, abundantly, joyfully, and gratefully fulfilled. And so fulfilled, we allow it to be. And so it is. Ashe, amen, ashe. Take a breath. Thank you.
Honoring the world's religions. The Center for Spiritual Living, Greater Baltimore's community, honors the diversity of all religions as represented by this ceremony. Baha'i is the path of unity and peace. Buddhism is the path of compassion and cessation of suffering. Christianity is the path of love and forgiveness. Confucianism is the path of deliberate tradition. Hinduism is the path of knowledge, action, and devotion. Islam is the path of submission to the will of God. Judaism is the path of living by sacred law. Indigenous spirituality is the path of honoring the earth and all life. Shintoism is the path of ritual, veneration of kami, and honoring nature. Taoism is the path of ultimate reality through balance. Unitarian Universalist is the path of social justice and sacred activism. Science of mind and spirit is the path of awakening one's spiritual magnificence in accord with love and law. The heart. The heart represents our love for and unity with all life.
Sorry about that. Okay. Well, it is time for some events and news. Study, learn, and grow with Science of Mind and Spirit and the Thursday night study group. Visit the Center for Spiritual Living, greaterbaltimore.org to learn how to participate, enroll in the discovery class, and know what Reverend Dr. Ray is teaching in the largest CSL community and beyond. The Center for Spiritual Living Greater Baltimore quarterly magazine is now available. To get your digital copy today, visit cslgreaterbaltimore.com and go to the events or media page. In honor of International Day of Peace, the Center for Spiritual Living Greater Baltimore is hosting a World Peace Party, and you are invited to participate. On Saturday, September 17th, noon to 7 p.m. with a rain date of September the 24th at Ruscombe Mansion Community Health Center in Baltimore, Maryland. For more information, contact Dana Cole or Nancy Rosenberg. For a full list of news and events and ways you can volunteer to serve, go to our website, cslgreaterbaltimore.com/events. To receive a daily text and voicemail from Reverend Dr. Ray, type JOIN to 833-663-9021 to begin receiving your daily inspirations. You will be glad you did. Here at CSLGB, we live as answered prayer because prayer works. We, as a community, continue to treat and move our feet, knowing the truth for everyone around the planet. Prayer requests can be sent at any time via email to info@cslgreaterbaltimore.org. Dennis Brian Coppens is a singer and songwriter who has performed all over the United States and Europe, including solos at the Vatican and Sydney Opera House. His mission is to create a musical ministry that will reveal the love and compassion in the world. He has received honorable mentions for his songs at the Posse Music Awards, and he released his fourth full-length record, From Where I Am. Dennis has also played several theater roles, including Jesus in a concert version of Jesus Christ Superstar and Pirelli in Sweeney Todd, prompting the Orange County Register to call him a garnished dandy with a gorgeous Italian tenor. You can visit him at DennisBryan.com. Subscribe to his YouTube channel and follow him on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. I give you Dennis.
When you're still, do you hear one small voice, crystal clear, saying, listen here, my friend, listen here. Well, that voice is your own, and it speaks to you alone. You can count on me, it says, so listen here. This is you. This is real. This is truly the way you feel. You can run. You can hide. Oh, but sometimes, someplace, each of us winds up face to face with that little voice inside. So we hope and we yearn and we live life and sometimes learn from that little voice that whispers crystal clear, and we each hear the call, 'cause it's calling to us all. Follow me, it says, never fear. This is you. This is real. This is truly the way you feel. You can run. You can hide. Oh, but sometimes, someplace, each of us winds up face to face with that little voice inside. So we hope and we yearn. We live life and sometimes learn from that little voice that whispers crystal clear. And we each hear the call, 'cause it's calling to us all. friend. Listen here, buddy. Listen
Oh, thank you, Dennis. Ah. Eugene returns to lead us in a spiritual practice.
Thank you, Tracy. Oh man, Dennis, thank you so very much for your talent. So today's spiritual practice, I am taking a reading from one of my favorite books called Walking with the Master. No, Quiet Talks with the Master. So, and this is regarding work, seeing how that is the theme for the day. And it's called Your Work. Come, my child, let peace be in your heart this day. Abide close to me and have no thought or fear for future days. Many new experiences lie just ahead of you. In the soon coming days, you shall realize, as you do not now, how far you have traveled on the path. Listen carefully to these words. Your work begins now. Not in some future time as you are apt to think, but even now is service required of you. You will grow from now on by service. You will grow from now on by service. It shall not always be of your choosing, though. Sometimes you may not even recognize it as a service to me. But that is how it is all planned. And you have a very definite place in the work which must rapidly go forward. You are learning to love the quiet of evening tide, the quiet of the mountaintop, the quiet of the dim lit churches. All things that are sweet and lovely and still, your soul responds to as never before. It is as I, that which is within you, choose. For then you hear my voice. Then I can reach that innermost path of your being and show you my way and direct your steps. Oh, my beloved, seek every opportunity to be with me, that divine intelligence within. Then shall the world in its bitter strife and loud clamor have no effect upon you, for you shall be abiding in the secret place of the Most High, and you shall learn the secrets of the sanctuary of your soul. Peace and blessings.
Thank you, Eugene. Peace and blessings. Reverend Dr. Raymont Anderson is an ordained Centers for Spiritual Living minister serving the Center for Spiritual Living Greater Baltimore community as our spiritual director. As a lifelong learner with a passion for self-development, personal transformation, transmutation, and transfiguration, he has frequently been referred to as a Renaissance man and visionary New Thought leader who makes complex metaphysical concepts readily understandable and applicable. His mission is to live, move, and be an active member of society who serves to educate, elucidate, and emancipate people and communities to awaken and empower themselves. Authentic, compassionate, transparent, inspired, vibrant, and empowered is what ACTIVE stands for. And he continues to live his bliss as a teacher, minister, author, workshop and seminar facilitator, visual artist, ASL interpreter, and ASL performing artist, mentor, father, grandfather, and more. I love doing that. I give you Reverend Dr. Ray.
I'm not sure what to say about Tracy right now. Tracy Aloysia. Sorry. Don't laugh, Tracy. Happy early birthday. So, good morning, greetings, happy September, and all that good stuff. And we are diving into a new theme, the theme of work, but not just any kind of work. It has to be good work. And if we take the words of Emma Curtis Hopkins, who says, "My good is my God," then this good work must be God work. So pause and take that in. Good work being God work. We're going to dive into this whole idea of what work is and what work isn't, and more. Or as Tracy would say, and more. You're laughing again. Stop laughing. You and Eugene, man, and Ashlee and Dresden. So, what is work? Well, according to, what's her name? Merriam or Webster, one of them, or Merriam-Webster. Anyhow, you know who I'm talking about. As a noun, work is an activity involving some kind of, now they say, mental or physical effort done in order to achieve a specific purpose or result. Second noun, a task or other tasks that one undertakes, something that a person or something has to do. So why is this task being done? What is the reason? This thing has to do. Why do you has to do it? What are you doing? Why? What's the reason? See, we're focusing on this idea, this purpose, this result. No one simply works, quote unquote, for absolutely no reason. Tracy has a job working for Uncle Sam. Why? Because she enjoys it? Well, she does, but she enjoys aspects of it. However, there are aspects she doesn't like, and she's looking forward to retirement. Now, she said, woo woo. Now, does that mean when she retires, Tracy will no longer have work? No, she's still going to have work, because of what work actually is, which, as I said before, we're going to talk more about. However, work as a verb, to be engaged in physical or mental activity, action, in order to achieve said result, in order to do a work. You got that? Okay. And number two, some kind of machine or system that operates or functions, especially properly or effectively. Properly or effectively. So when you hear me refer to how to be, when we are invited to be, when our spiritual imperative says to be excellent stewards, it means to effectively, properly, righteously do what we are called to do for a specific purpose or result. Just like when we are treating, what is the condition I am seeking to change? What is the end result? What is the, when I say and so it is, what is it that I am declaring to be true? Pause and breathe. Synonyms for work: labor, toil, exertion, effort, grind. Now, many of these you have heard, many of these we have used. Duties, jobs, tasks, elbow grease, service, and more. Now, some of these words, while being used for linguistic convenience, the energy of the word itself is not something that we want to take on or embody. You must toil by the sweat of your brow. Toil. Toil? I don't like the way that sounds. I don't like the way that feels. Toil. To grind. Well, I mean, I understand, you got to get your daily grind on. I understand the concept, but maybe. I'll hold that in my consciousness for a minute and marinate on it, because I'm not sure. Just being mindful of, how do we speak about work? How do we speak about employment? How do we speak about this entire concept? Because there are often times when, we all know this, there are often times when somebody at a party, at a function, at a something, rolls up on you and says, what do you do for a living? What do you do for work? What do you do for a living? Years ago, that question used to really irk me, because I legitimately didn't know how to answer it. I don't know. What do I do for a living? I mean, I do a lot of things. I was an interpreter and a public school teacher, and like a lot of, what do I do for a living? And I thought I had to quantify all of this stuff under one nice little Tupperware package to give to them so they would understand. And then I woke up one day and said, like she does, I woke up one day and said, I live and therefore act in alignment with spirit. That's what I do for a living. I live. Take that in. I live. I don't simply exist. I live. And because I live, capital L, because I live, I act. Treat and move your feet. I act. The activities of my life are in alignment with spirit. That's what I do, because that's what I am. To which he just gets up off the bench and walks away, because he doesn't know how to take that. Ernest Holmes says, this spirit is happy, whole, free, filled with joy, eternal in its existence, and can provide you with everlasting expansion. All your highest hopes and dreams have come and are coming from it. Now, pause. Can provide. Now, the thing is, it does provide. It provides all of it. It because it can't help but to. But the question is, when we get there, eternal in its existence, and it provides you with everlasting expansion. Are you willing to receive it? Are we willing to receive all that Spirit, all that the universe is offering and providing us? Happiness, wholeness, freedom, the opportunity to be filled to overflow with joy. All of our highest hopes and dreams that come from this infinite and eternal power and presence, are we willing to embody it, to accept it, and to live from that awareness? Because if we are, then it changes the manner in which we live, move, and have our beingness. Because see, none of this is about the traditional capitalistic colonization idea of work. Because that idea of work will have you be buried in the ground, poor, broken, burned out, and destitute. Because that system sees individuals as disposable commodities on the conveyor belt of the CEO who says, money, 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 bring me money. I don't care who you are. Are you doing your job that my pockets are lined? See, this concept from Spirit doesn't align with that. And yet that is what we are conditioned to work within. That is the framework of work for that system. Are we willing to change that paradigm, change that consciousness within our own selves, within our own lives, within our own communities, so that that system shatters and a new, more effective system is created? Because that system, as I said, would have you work harder. And we've heard, don't work harder, work smarter. And yet we still, work hard. Work even harder when no one else is watching. So we say that, work even harder. But wait a minute. Stay positive, work hard, and make it happen. You follow the consciousness that such quotes are implanting within us. Now, The Rock, great guy. Dwayne Johnson, great guy. And yet, this paradigm, be humble, be hungry, and always be the hardest worker in the room. Well, first of all, I got you. Be humble. That's cool. Be hungry. I'd rather not be hungry. How many of us have ever been hungry? And I don't mean just stomach's growling like I'm getting ready to run in the kitchen and get something to eat. I'm talking about hungry, like you haven't eaten for 3 days, hungry. You don't know where your next meal is coming from, hungry. Who wants to be hungry? You want to be fulfilled and satiated, because the hungry person is not necessarily the one who is fueled to live their lives to their utmost. Because as Maslow's hierarchy of needs addresses, you cannot ascend it until the bottom is fulfilled. As a public school teacher, the number of students that I would have who couldn't function during the day because they came to school hungry. And they weren't able, for whatever reason, because it varied, to get the school breakfast. So they weren't eating at home. They weren't able to eat at school. And yet we expect them to learn effectively, to behave. Bruh, I'm hungry. And when I'm hungry, I'm irritable. And so the fact that you just stepped on my new Jordans, or my old Jordans, my hand-me-down Jordans, whatever, the fact that you stepped on them, I'm ready to get suspended. Be hungry? No. Fulfill, satiate, be satisfied, and always be the hardest worker in the room, always be the most effective at what you do, at who you are. Be you. The hardest worker in the room would have us compete. Well, I need to see how hard Eugene is working, and then I need to work harder than him. I need to see how hard Dresden is working, and then I need to work harder than him. Well, what do either of them? I need to work harder than Ashlee. I need to work harder than Tracy. Well, time out. Am I doing this for me? Or am I doing it for the sake of competition? Because that's the system of colonization that would have us compete. Because we want to know who took my cheese. In this thing called rat race, who's out front? I'm not in a race. I have no one to race against. Unless we talk about going to the Olympics, which is a friendly competition. This ain't about life or death kind of thing. Pause. So yes, Dwayne, I hear you. And yet, breathe. Because if we are truly going to step into this living everyday wonder of what work is, then we really need to, we are really invited to, we are really called to a new level of deconstruction of the old paradigms and construction of the new. Verna J. Dozier says, I will know more and different things tomorrow than I know today. And I can even be open to new possibility, open at the top. New possibility that I cannot even imagine today. See, I may not be able to imagine a world that works for all, but am I open to new possibilities? Am I open to my greater yet to be? Am I open to Eugene's greater yet to be? Am I open to Dresden's greater yet to be? Am I open to Ashlee's greater yet to be? Am I open to Tracy Aloysius' greater yet to be? Am I open to, because am I my brother's keeper? You know, Cain and Abel, that question was asked. Am I my brother's keeper? And you have heard me say this before. I am not my brother's keeper. I am not my sister's keeper. I am not my gender non-conforming, gender fluid siblings' keeper. I am them, and they are me. So am I open to new possibilities, not just for me, but for every individualized expression of God? Am I open for, to, and through all of us elevating to a world that works for all, elevating to all people? You want food? You got it. You need shelter? You got it. You need clothes? You got it. That we have more than enough to supply for everyone. Clean air, clean water. What's going on? What you in Mississippi, y'all ain't got no water. Why not? Flint, Michigan, what's up with your water? Am I open to new possibilities that completely eradicate and change the paradigm that would have people be living in a city, a community without clean water, without food that is healthy, not pumped with so much antibiotics that it is now ruining the biology of, it is unbalancing the biology of our children, our families, our communities, and ourselves. Open to new possibilities that I may not be able to imagine today, but I am open at the top. I am open at the bottom. I am open to what I know, to what I am willing to know, to what I am willing to live, because I live in wonder. And not wonder like, I wonder what tomorrow's lottery number is going to be. I should play and get that $100 million. I'm talking about wonder and awe, where you look at the sky and there is a sense of wonderment at how wonderful life is. Because as Socrates says, wonder is the beginning of wisdom. Breathe. So when we think of this idea of work, work shows up in a great many ways. Do we think of the Alvin Ailey dancer, Alvin Ailey himself, as his dancing is his work? Do we think of RuPaul, that is RuPaul's work? Or is it their craft, their pleasure? See, years ago when I was studying public speaking, the instructor referenced this idea of public speaking is our work, it is our craft. And then fast forward, I'm getting my MFA in theater, and theater was referenced as our craft. We talk about craft, arts and crafts, art and crafts, the creation of, the craft. There's 2 movies by that name, The Craft, which references a group of a coven of witches who use spelling, the use of words. And what is one of the most famous words or phrases that we connect with magic? You know, here's the magician. What word does the magician say when they have their magic wand and they tap the hat? What is that? What is that phrase? What is that word? Abracadabra. Abracadabra, which the Aramaic etymology is, as I speak, I create. My word is made flesh. See this connection? Do we put all of this together, that our work is our craft, that when we are able to have fun at work, see, pause. You can't imagine the kind of cutting up we do very often before service begins. It's Eugene's fault most of the time. Well, Eugene and Tracy, it's all them. Tracy said, yeah, okay. And I'm sure Eugene is shaking his head right now. But that's cool, because he and I are going to have a conversation next time we meet at KFC. Not the chicken place, it's a different place. Anyway, are you able to have fun in your life? Because your life is your work. Your work is your craft. Your craft is your magic, because your magic is your word made flesh. Do you have fun? Because if you are able to enjoy, to be in joy about it, then there will be success. But if you are toiling by the sweat of your brow, gathering the grease that forms within your elbow, because it's elbow grease, and I can use that for my bike chain because it's rusty. If that's your concept, then what are you doing? You are simply collecting dollars and cents. You are simply engaged in a form of mental slavery, spiritual slavery, economic slavery, rather than I am able to find joy and pleasure in my work. So let's transition from this concept of work to our word for a moment, if you are ready. When we talk about work, I want us to recognize that work, and I don't know if Sue is on, today with us, but yes, Sue, we're doing another acronym. Work. Wielding the opus of religious science knowingly. And that's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to explain what an opus is. I'm not going to explain what it means to wield. If you are interested in being able to do this, then you will take the initiative to find out. When he says wield, because I thought it said weld, but it's wield. What does it mean to wield? And what is an opus? And what would be the opus of religious science that I am knowingly engaged in? To what end? For what purpose? Pause and breathe, because we are shifting into the concept of the word. What is the word? Well, according to Ernest Holmes, we do not put the power into this word, but we do let the power of the law flow through it. And the one who most completely believes in this power will produce the best results. Do you believe that you have the power to speak truth? We often say this concept of, speaking truth to power. No, see, Eugene and I had a conversation the other day, and we're like, no, I'm going to speak truth to force in a manner that is powerful. I am going to embody what it means for me to have the power and presence of all that is incarnating itself in, through, and as me. And when I encounter force, people who choose to exert their will in abusive and traumatic ways, who engage in the systemic oppressive system, then I will speak truth to that force, and I will do so with power. But in order to do that, I have to recognize and I have to acknowledge that my word has power, that I am the embodiment of that, and that when I speak it, the power of moves through it. Breathe. Ernest Holmes goes on to say, the starting point of all creation is the word of spirit. The word is the concept, the idea, the image or thought of God. Take that in. It is the self-knowing mind speaking itself into manifestation. The word back of everything is its initial cause. The starting point of all creation is the word of spirit. And so when you speak, are you allowing that word, the word of spirit, rather than the word of oppression, the word of whatever that system is, are you allowing that word to speak? The word of toil and sweat, the word of work harder than everybody else in the room, even if it kills you. Don't do a 40-hour week to get ahead. Do 90. But my blood pressure, it doesn't matter. If you want to get ahead, you have to be willing to risk. Go a couple of nights without sleep if you must. But you do realize lack of sleep affects the brain function. And if my brain isn't functioning, it doesn't matter. Really? The exit is over there. Get out. Are we willing to remove that consciousness from our paradigms, from our lives? John 14:12. I tell you the truth. These are the words of Yeshua. I tell you the truth. Anyone who believes in me, who believes what I am telling you, will do the same works that I have done, and even greater. If you believe in what I am teaching you, you believe in what I am telling you, you believe me, then you will do what I am telling you to do. And when you do what I am telling you to do, you will be able to do exactly the kind of works that I am doing, and you will be able to do even greater works than I have done. Do we believe? Do we believe strongly enough to engage, to create, to do those works? Ernest Holmes says, what a marvelous conception of Jesus's unity with good. My good is my God. Jesus's unity with good and his command of the law. Not his asking of the law, not his pleading with the law, not his begging and beseeching of the law, his command of the law. He taught as one having authority, and not as the scribes, or as we would say, as TLC would say, not as the scrubs. He received inspiration from the Spirit, but he commanded the law. And if you believe in what I am telling you, if you believe the truth that I am telling you, if you believe in me and what I am teaching you, then you too will speak with authority. You too will command the law. You too will do as I tell you that I have done, as you have seen me do, as you have witnessed me do, as you have experienced, and you will be able to do the same and even greater, because you too will be able to command the law, because you will understand that your unity with good is no different than my unity with good. The only difference might be is I know it and you do not. I accept it and you do not. I embody it and you do not. I command it and you do not. That is the only difference. Reverend Ray says, our invitation, our spiritual imperative is not just to be excellent stewards, but to be masters of our works, masters of our craft. And the greatest work is our life itself and the impact and the influence our lives have on the earth and throughout the earth. That is the greatest work we could do, not the 9 to 5, but the 24/7. I am what I do. What I am being impacts and influences what I do in the world. Do I believe that I am simply my 9 to 5 occupation? Or do I believe as Yeshua instructed? Do I believe as Siddhartha Gautama the Buddha instructed? Do I believe in the lessons and the teachings of our New Thought legacy leavers, the Fillmores, Emma Curtis Hopkins, Ernest Holmes? Do I believe and do I act as one who believes? This week's opportunity to practice: no matter if you work, are retired, or unemployed, you have work. You are doing and work to do. Do you know what it is? Number 2, do you take time to wonder during your day? We make time for what matters. How might you be more intentional in making room for more wonderment, more of what is wonderful every day? And then lastly, have a conversation with 33 people. Sorry, have a conversation with 3 people. Tracy's like, how many? I don't even know 33 people. Have a conversation with 3 people about the opus you are creating with the power of your word and how this shows up in the 4 areas of your mental equivalent: your thoughts, the ways that you think, your beliefs, the way you communicate, your word, your emotions and feelings, and your actions. This week's declaration, our affirmation, I will say it first, and if you feel in alignment, then say it with me on our second go round. The good work I am doing is, the good work I am doing in the world is a wonder to behold. The good work I am doing in the world is a wonder to behold. Breathe. The good work I am doing in the world is a wonder to behold. And so it is. As we avail ourselves to this wonderful wonderment of a musician who is new to our community, breathe and allow yourself to simply be in the space of amazing wonderfulness, the wonderment of music, the wonderment of this elevated voice inviting us in as we avail our hearts, our minds, our souls to the Master. Dennis, much love and appreciation, and welcome to CSL Greater Baltimore.
everybody. I'm bringing a song to you that I wrote with my friend Juliet Worcester over in the UK. She's out there. Hi, Juliet. Hi, Mary. It's a little tune called Better Me. In the morning when I awake, a fresh new start a day bring the joy of one more day, a chance to work and play. And I give thanks to the universe. I no longer shout and curse for the opportunity to be a better me. And I said thank you, thank you, thank you. I look right at myself and say I love you. Love you, love you, love you. And now a window for God's will to really shine through. Bless you, bless you, bless you. For the courage that it takes to be the true you. Oh, the true you. And I sit down to meditate. I say my prayer and then I wait. The word of God comes through with the work for me to do. Next I breathe and I exercise. I look for more ways to be wise. Another opportunity to be a better me. And I said thank you, thank you, thank you. I look right at myself and say I love you. Love you, love you, love you. Now a window for God's will to really shine through. Bless you, bless you, bless you. For the courage that it takes to be the true you. Oh, the true you. In every moment through the day, I seek out ways in which to say, I am the love divine. God's universe is mine. To live in love's the way to go. It comes in fast and it goes out slow. One more opportunity to be a better me, a better me. And I said thank you, thank you, thank you. I look right at myself and say I love you. Love you, love you, love you. Now the window for God's will to really shine through. Bless you, bless you, bless you. For the courage that it takes to be the true you. Oh, the true you. To be the true you. Yes, the true you. The true you. Thank you.
I don't know if I'm on because I can't tell. I've got a delay. Am I on, Tracy? Thank you. Appreciate that. I'm glad I can hear you. So put your hands together if you enjoyed that, which I'm sure you did. Put something in the chat. Let Dennis know we welcome him, we appreciate him, and we certainly shall invite him to return again. Thank you, Dennis Coppens. Yes, opportunity to be a better me. Somewhere in there, didn't he say something about, saying I love you to yourself? Do you tell yourself I love you? It's easy to tell family members and friends, etc., say I love you. But do we look at ourselves in the mirror and say, I love you, and then act accordingly, treat ourselves as if we do? Just asking. At this part of service, we anchor and ground in the practice of the law of circulation, recognizing once again, abracadabra, So the manner in which we speak about this practice, the manner in which we engage in this practice, the manner in which we talk about this community, abracadabra, I create by how I speak, my words made flesh, right? And one of the things before I moved out of, because there's a delay, Dana quoted the guru Oprah. You get a house, you get a house, you get a house, everybody gets a house. And so it is. You have an amazing community that is so powerful and so present. And you have a community that reaches out into the world and does amazing works, even within homes and areas of people who may never step foot on the grounds of where your community resides. But what they are not understanding is that because of where your community is on the earth, the entire earth is your community. And so it is, and so it is, and so it is. You get love, and you get caring, and you get nurturing, and you get prayer, and you get meditation, and you get the realization that you are the infinite incarnating as yourself. And so it is. Now, you may not know, if you happen to be new to this community, that the practitioners of distinction, our practitioner core, on top of their monthly tithes, have pledged an additional $50,000. And as of the 22nd of last month, that number is $20,095. The community's matching pledge, also on top of their regularly scheduled tithes, also $50,000 additional pledge. Also, as of the 22nd of last month, that number is $4,525. In case you are wondering, how do I give to this amazing community that I am a part of, that I believe in, that I want to support and nurture and contribute to sow seeds into? How do I do so? You have 4 ways. The regular, good old-fashioned, trustworthy postal service. Put it in the mail. Number 2, text to give. See, that's one of the great things about technology. We can use these little computers to do all kinds of things, because these next 3 things you can do on your phone. Text messaging. Send $5,000 to CSL Greater Baltimore. Givelify. Send $50,000 to CSL Greater Baltimore. Enter. PayPal. Send $5 million to CSL Greater Baltimore. And so it is. And if you ever have questions about how can I divide a certain portion, I want to support the Peace Party. Is it possible for me to tithe to the new building fund and have a portion of it go to the Peace Party? Of course, yes, yes, yes. We recognize that the law says yes, so the answer is yes. If you ever want to know more about how to do that, feel free to reach out to our amazing, spectacular, and splendid Sue Monahan, the treasurer of this community. And Sue will clarify all of that stuff for you. You can also go to the website for more information, cslgreaterbaltimore.com/give. Here at CSL Greater Baltimore, when we declare this, now it says Declaration of Financial Wealth and Abundance, but we recognize that if we say one thing about one thing, it applies to everything. So this is a declaration of wealth and abundance for our health, our bodies, our minds, our hearts, our spirits, our community, our relationships, every way that we desire wealth and abundance and opulence and prosperity and wonderment to show up. We declare this. So if you're in alignment with that and you want to acknowledge that and affirm that, abracadabra, then say this together with me. I joyfully, consciously, and gratefully participate in the law of circulation. I trust in the spiritual principle that says, as I sow into my beloved community, I demonstrate my awareness of standing not only in the flow, but as the flow itself. As I sow of myself, my time, my treasure, my talent, I demonstrate my support and engagement in my community's vision, mission, and purpose. I actively give as a demonstration of manifesting, of reaping the harvest of a world that works for all. That is my craft. And so it is. Blessings, gratitude, thank you. Tracy just dropped something. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for being awesome. Thank you for all of the magnificent and marvelous ways, the wonderful ways that you engage your work, your life, this community, and the planet, and all life, even the life of nature itself. Because we may not see the rocks breathe, but we know that that breath of God is breathing itself as the rock, as the tree, as the blade of grass, the granules of sand. So thank you for all of the energy and presence that you contribute to all that God is. And so it is. Now, did you know that you can meet Eugene? He's our practitioner on service today over in the Zoom room, and Eugene will do what Eugene does. Like if you were here for the pre-service meditation, then you know. If you've ever seen Eugene or been in presence of Eugene when he prays, you know. Eugene knows and knows that he knows because he is a master practitioner of distinction. And so if you want that level of consciousness, speaking truth about your life, speaking truth into your life, into your consciousness, go over to the Zoom room, type the word prayer in the chat box, and Tracy will put you into a breakout room with Master Practitioner of Distinction, Eugene Divine Holden. Now, let us anchor and ground, recognizing that this service is the very craft of spirit itself, that every aspect of it, the hands and bodies, the minds of the interpreters who use their craft to make this available to our deaf friends and family, congregants and community. Our new musician today who uses his craft of music and voice, of presence, to awaken minds and enliven hearts and bring God bumps on arms and necks through the power of love in song. Through Tracy, if I recall, Frank referred to Tracy as the hostess with the mostest, Tracy Alawusha, and all that Tracy brings and all that Tracy is. We breathe, recognizing that all of this, our master practitioner, Eugene, and the simple, powerful way that he shows up. And all of you who are watching live now or watching the recording later, nonetheless, that moment is now. And in this now moment, allow the love of the universe to be present in, through, and as you, to allow your consciousness to rise so that you speak with, so that you walk with, so that you move and have your beingness as one who knows your authority and commands the law as Yeshua invited. And so we know that this service is a demonstration of that. Every aspect of it, a demonstration of that power and presence and authority, love made manifest. And the law says what? The law says yes. And because the law says yes, and we understand what that yes means, it means this is already answered prayer. From the moment Eugene started the pre-service meditation, answered prayer. Dennis's pre-service song, answered prayer. All of this, including your presence right here, right now, answered prayer. And so knowing that, I allow the wonderfulness of this moment to rise up as I surrender in gratitude and in deep celebration of how magnificent you are, we are, God is, life is, and so it is. Amen. Ashe. See you over in Zoom.